Now let's pretend that you are producing a cartoon in the 80s and 90s, but you need an idea to base your show around. So, take two hats. In one, put the loads of different species of animals you can anthropomorphize, and in the other, put loads of different hobbies, skills, personality traits. Pick one from each hat, and you've got yourself a brand new cartoon. If you're really, really lucky, you've also got a cartoon that's moderately successful, meaning you can make more merchandise and toys. And so with that in mind, I'm Matt from Geekstalgia. Thank you for joining us as we take a nostalgic trip down memory lane, this time looking back at Biker Mice from Mars. Biker Mice from Mars was a cartoon that ran for 65 episodes over 3 seasons from September of 1993 to its end in February of 1996. It told the story of 3 mice who you might have guessed are from Mars and quite enjoy riding motorbikes. The series was created by Rick Ungar, former president of Marvel Productions, along with Pamela Hickey, Dennis McCoy, and also executive produced by Mr. Stan Lee himself. The series was broadcast on UPN in the States before going into syndication, and it was broadcast here in the UK and screened on Channel 4 and was translated and aired in numerous countries around the world. Each episode of the show followed the adventures of the 3 titular biker mice, Modo, Vinny and Throttle, who, after fleeing their home planet of Mars after it was ravaged by a fish-like alien species known as Plutarchians, crash land on Earth in the city of Chicago. It's here in Chicago where they befriend a human named Charlie Davidson. However, they shortly discover that the Plutarchians have also come to Earth, masquerading as humans to strip the planet of its natural resources, just as they did to their own planet and to Mars. The bike enthusiast mice stay in Chicago as Charlie and become vigilantes in the fight against the Plutarchians. Each of the mice had different personalities. Throttle, voiced by VA legend Rob Paulson, was the level-headed leader of the group with a tan fur, who, after an incident back on Mars, lost his sight, which was partially restored by malfunctioning bionic eyes, leading to the constant wear of his green sunglasses to aid in his sight. Vinny, voiced by Beverly Hills 90210 star Ian Ziering, was the brash adrenaline junkie thrill seeker with the white fur. He lost the right side of his face in the same instant it cost Throttle his eyes, so he always wears that metal mask. And rounding out the 3 mice was Modo, voiced by Dorian Harewood. He was a grey-furred gentle giant, a quick-to-anger mouse with a gentle soul who lost his right arm, coincidentally, in the same incident that cost his brothers in arms their sight and face. His arm was replaced by a bionic limb that contained a laser cannon, because what else are you going to have in the bionic limb? The 3 hero mice were joined by Charlie and with help from the Mars Mice-based resistance group, the Freedom Fighters, to battle against the main villain, Lawrence Limburger, and his 2 main lackeys, Dr. Carbuncle and Greasepit, as well as recurring cheese-based villains such as Napoleon Brie, Lord Camembert, Dominic Stilton, and numerous others. As well as the lead mice, the voice cast was made up of a mixture of known voice acting talent. Jim Cummings, Jeff Bennett, Kath Suchi, Brad Garrett, as well as Mr. Worf himself, Michael Dorn.
Perhaps today is a good day to die.
Also lending their voices to the show were many of Ian Ziering's co-stars from 90210. Brian Austin Green, Jason Priestley, Luke Perry, Tori Spelling, and Jenny Garth all appeared in the show in recurring roles. Biker Mice from Mars enjoyed decent success during its run before its initial cancellation in 1996 after 3 seasons. I say initial because the show was revived in 2006 for a 28-episode single season, which was a continuation of the original series. However, despite being a continuation, this revival was heavily influenced by the toy line that had been released the previous year by Italian company, and I apologise in advance for butchering the pronunciation here, Giochi Preziosi? The characters, vehicles and weapons were created in toy form and then put into show. The revival was aired here in the UK in 2006, but was delayed in the US until 2008 due to various problems at the Philippines-based studio. The original series had a large amount of merchandise released, primarily a toy line of action figures, vehicles and playsets made and released by Galoob. Figures of all the characters were released in their usual clothing in the show, as well as them all in alternate costumes, as is the way of action figures. As well as the figures, of course, you had to have the bikes for the biker mice.
Yeah! Cool! Throttle, Vinny, Moto, biker mice on battle bikes with the firepower to stop the evil Plutarchians.
Catch this, Carbuncle!
It's
every time.
Get his way, Stages vermin.
No way, fist face.
Grease fiddle, grease them. Grease this. Whoa.
Time to rock and ride.
Biker Mice from Mars, bikes and figures, each sold separately, new from Galoob.
I myself had a fairly decent collection of Biker Mice toys, and I still rate the Biker Mice home-based scoreboard playset very, very highly. Many of the toys can be easily found and are frequently sold on eBay and various collectors' sites. As well as the toys, Tiger Electronics released an LCD handheld game, and Konami published a video game released on Nintendo's SNES in 1994. The European version of which bizarrely contained numerous adverts for Snickers, because it seems even when you're saving the world as Biker Mice, you got to get that sweet, sweet production placement dollar. A game for the Sega Mega Drive, or Genesis for our American geeks, was planned but sadly never released. Another game was released, this time based on the 2006 revival, and was released on Nintendo DS and PlayStation 2, but didn't see much success. There was a short series of comics released by Marvel, running for 3 issues, and a series was published here in the UK by Marvel UK. Despite its moderate popularity, I have not been successful in finding any episodes on any streaming sites other than uploads here on YouTube, and I'm a good boy and I only look at the legal ones. However, there have been numerous releases on home video since the show began. Many episodes were released on VHS, and the 13 episodes of season 1 were released on DVD by Maximum Entertainment and released in the US as a 2-disc set by Exposure Entertainment. Both DVD sets are now out of print, and the second and third seasons were never released. An online petition was started to have the full series released, but it never came to fruition. Biker Mice from Mars was shown as relatively short-lived, but did see at the very least moderate success, and continues to see a cult following to this day, nearly 30 years since it began. And having said that out loud, I now feel extremely, extremely old. But did you watch Biker Mice from Mars? If you did, let us know in the comments below. While you're there, have a think about doing all the various wonderful YouTube things such as like, sharing and subscribing. It's massively appreciated if you do. I'm not going to hate you if you don't. But until the next one, thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, take care of your fellow humans, and I hope to see you all again soon.